Huge news today as Florida State stays hot on the recruiting trail and flips four-star top 247 offensive lineman Manasse Itete from USC. Now, Itete is an absolute unit coming in at 6'5", 290 pounds with a 6'10" wingspan and absolutely massive hands. So he's absolutely got all the tangibles and physical attributes for Atkins to get to work with him and turn him into yet another elite offensive lineman. Now let's rewind a little bit here back to April when IT has multiple crystal ball predictions to FSU. Then in early June he takes a visit to USC and kind of commits to them out of nowhere. Perhaps this was a bit of an emotional decision, just on a visit high. It was said ever since then that Alex Atkins and FSU weren't going to stop recruiting him by any means, and now that effort has paid off here in late July, as Florida State ultimately still ends up with his commitment. Now, this is an even bigger deal because IT is from Modesto, California, so pulling a California kid away from USC and getting him to commit to a school essentially all the way across the country is impressive. The 2024 class is widely seen as a bit of a down year at the offensive line position, but that still hasn't stopped Alex Atkins from going to get his guys. Just 2 weeks ago, FSU also landed 4-star offensive lineman Jonathan Daniels and 3-star offensive lineman Ty Hilton. These guys will come in and join an already loaded offensive line room as Coach Atkins has loaded up these last few cycles with multiple top 100 guys such as Julian Armella and Lucas Simmons, but also several other transfer players as well. FSU's offensive line group is being called one of the best in the ACC, if not the entire country. And I know that sounds a little bit weird to hear saying out loud, considering just a few years ago our QBs needed a life insurance policy when standing behind a super suspect offensive line that just couldn't seem to block a Pee Wee squad. So you gotta love not only the recruiting, but the development and just the overall dramatic improvement that's been made at that position by Coach Atkins. It's no wonder why he's been promoted to co-offensive coordinator with Coach Norvell and will likely move on to a head coaching job sooner rather than later. So an impressive offensive lineman haul so far for FSU, and there's even still a couple more guys out there. Jason Zandamela is another guy that was originally predicted to FSU. He also committed to USC back in June, which got all the fans worked up, saying some crazy Alex Atkins slander, which is just pure insanity. But just like with IT, FSU isn't going anywhere here and even still has an official visit scheduled for in season. You also have 5-star Brandon Baker still on the board. FSU made his list of final schools, though he currently seems to be a heavy Oregon lean. But still some time there, obviously. We'll just kind of have to see how it all goes. But overall, a super promising month for FSU as IT marks our 9th commitment of the month and bumps the Seminoles up to the number 7 recruiting class in the country per 247 Sports and top 5 class on 3. FSU is red hot on the recruiting trail at the moment and still has plenty of guys they'd like to add in. But either way, the Noles are in good hands. As always, go Noles, and in Alex Atkins we trust.